Today we're diving into NetBox to find out what it is, and why IT departments love it, and how it can help with your workflow. Stay tuned to find out how.
Oh, it's Blackburn and tech, we're leveling up. From networking paths to systems we trust. Let's break it down, let's build it back. Together we're learning, right on track.
So let's say you're managing your IT infrastructure on a spreadsheet. Works well for one person sometimes, but how many IP addresses are where and what's assigned where, what VLANs, for example, can be overwhelming. Maybe we want a better tool for this. Maybe we want to eventually get to the point where we can automate some of it, so we add it into one central point of truth, and then it'll go to our other systems, such as our monitoring servers. Maybe we want to keep track of our VPN tunnels and know what VPN tunnels are where, what keys we have set up for it. Or another common one is maybe you're a managed service provider and you're managing multiple IT infrastructures. Kind of overwhelming trying to keep up with everybody's spreadsheets. Why not have a central point of truth where you can manage all of those clients? So what NetBox is a centralized management application. Actually, let's jump over to the computer and I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about this.
So first off, what is NetBox? Well, NetBox is an open sourced central point to manage your IT infrastructure. It's a central point of truth, as you can see. It's designed for data centers and businesses to have a central spot to manage all their IP infrastructure and even their network data centers, such as what racks where, what devices in what rack, what view is it on, for example. Maybe you're walking a tech through how to get into something. By having it in a central spot you can have managed, you can easily do this. So essentially from here, you can take a look. Here's like a screenshot of what it looks like currently. And you can see, let me zoom in a little bit for you. So they have a lot of stuff that it can manage, from the connections to your wireless infrastructures, VPN tunnels. You can even keep track of what virtual machines you have running. Maybe you have multiple internet circuits coming in, power, and then you can even get into the part of some of the automation of this. So if I had to describe in a nutshell what NetBox is and how I would try to let somebody utilize it, it's a centralized documentation. So we know where our IP information and our IT documentation is. It also helps keep track of accurate asset management. Is it under warranty? Do we have a warranty number? Who do we contact for this? It's a great point for that. It has seamless IPAM, so IP management. So if we have multiple VLANs, multiple subnets, we know what VLAN, what subnets where, why it's there, keep track of that. And it also supports API integration. So like I said, if you have, say, Zabbix or another provider out there and you want to feed information to it, or maybe you want that information to feed it to this database, you can do the same thing. As I mentioned, this is open source, so there is a community version, so we can build it out ourselves. We'll use their Docker image here in a little bit and build out. Don't worry, it's not going to be that difficult. We'll just take some time, go through. We'll build it out on an Ubuntu server. It's pretty much the same thing on anything, so if we already have a good idea of what we're doing with it, we can basically deploy it on anything. As you can see, they do also offer pricing, so if you are a commercial entity and you want to have like managed support and additional features, maybe you want your own branding, there's some things that the community doesn't have, but they do have additional resources available. So if it's something that would be beneficial for your organization on that aspect, just know that that's a valid option as well, so it's not just a one and done, here you go. Okay, so we're over here on the server side. So installing NetBox isn't going to be that difficult. It should be pretty straightforward. They have great documentation on their GitHub page. This is the community edition, so if you're paying for their pro version, then it will be a little bit different, but this is the most common one for the community edition that most people use. So opening it up, we're up here on their GitHub page. This is their Docker Compose community one. And they have this great quick start, which makes it extremely simple. So we'll go ahead and follow their steps. We'll go ahead and get what this is doing is getting their clone of their repository of their commands that they want to run. Let me minimize that. We'll paste that in here. And we should have that. So we should be able to go on to their next step, which is go into netbox.docker, ls. So if we look inside here, there's a bunch of stuff in here. So what this is doing is, this is the T command. So it's running this command, and then it's going to do all of this additional stuff. So we'll go ahead and click T. From the T to the EOF, right click. It's opening up that port, and so in case you have this port used on your computer, you might want to change that, but it'll put us on port 8000. hit that, and then it doesn't look like anything happened, but if you don't get an error in Linux, that's a good thing. So we'll do a Docker Compose pull, because we're gonna go get the image. Okay, and sometimes if you see something like that, it's because you're not an administrator, which is easy to do, so it'll be sudo in front of it. And now it's gonna go and get those images for us. All right, so the last thing to do is go ahead and bring up Docker Compose up. And this will bring up the Docker image for you. All right, and the next thing we need to do is create a super user for Docker using the commands that they provided. All right, so now it's going to ask for our self-created a admin password or a admin username. All right, and that's how we set it up. And in order to verify, we'll just open up the web browser to the IP address of the server and go to port 8000. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in and take a look. I'll use my admin at Lab for Fun as the account. Enter in the password we went ahead and set up. Okay, and the first thing that I'm going to do is switch this to dark mode because I really don't want to blind myself any more than I have to. As you can see, this is definitely a lot easier to manage this type of an environment and a little more graphical than, let's just say, trying to do all of this on a spreadsheet. And then if you pay for like their actual edition of it, and I don't know if you can with the community edition, but you can have multiple tenants. So that way you can see multiple, say if you're a MSP or something, you can manage multiple customers' environments based off of this and limit the amount of information down through that level. So say you have a client and you know, here's their company, here are how many sites do they have. You could definitely do this and narrow it down. I personally haven't used that feature. I normally only use this as a standalone one, but it is just that easy to spin up a NetBox Community Edition. And as you can see, there's a lot we can do. So if you want to learn more, we can definitely go into additional training on this, but I wanted to at least introduce you into NetBox. Hopefully you found this informative, and if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and click a like, maybe a subscribe would be helpful for the channel. And if you didn't like it, go ahead and click a thumbs down and a comment, maybe why. I greatly appreciate it, and most of all, thank you for your time.